This is the Go book for Excel or Office 2013, and we are looking at the second chapter for Excel and the second project, Project 2B. If you look at page 392, it'll show you what the result is going to look like when we get done. And it looks like we need one file, the weekly sales file. So let's go to page 393. And I've already started Excel and have a blank worksheet, so I'm going to have to do a file open command instead of doing it the way they say in the book. And I want to go to computer here, and I want to go to my desktop, CSC 110. I want to go to the student data files for Excel chapter 2. And I want 2B, weekly sales. Click on open. And we need to enable editing. If this ever comes up, you always have to click on it. And it looks like we may have two sheets down here. Yes, we do. Okay. So it looks like this stuff is pretty much the same. Looks like we got a week's worth of data for online sales. And then if we go over here, it looks like we probably got a week's worth of data for in-store sales. And the first thing we're doing is going to save it. So let's do a file and save as. We're not going to create a separate folder. We're just going to put it back in the E02 student data files. And we're going to go to the beginning here. We're going to delete the E0. And we're going to call it last name, first name, and 2B weekly sales. And it says to click on sheet 2, which we've already done, and notice that it says in store up here, and then go back to sheet 1, and we're going to double click to change the sheet name. And you can just double click, it'll turn gray, and then you type on top of it. And we're going to call this online sales. You can name your sheets. You're not stuck with sheet 1 and sheet 2. And then double click on this one, and we're going to call this in-store sales. And now let's go to the top of page 394. We're on number 7. Point to the in sales sheet tab and right click, and we're going to do a tab color, and we're going to do green accent 6. So we're going to pick this shade of green right there. And we got a white one here, and we've got a green one. When you click on it, it turns white, but you do see a little bit of a tint of the original color down there at the bottom. But that's kind of Excel's way of telling you that this is the current sheet that you're working on. It turns that tab white. And I want to change this one, right click on this and go to tab color, and I want this one to be the next to last column, the first color. If you pause, it says blue accent 5. Click on it. And now we got a blue one and we've got a green one. Okay. Now we're on objective 8, activity 2.22, and we're going to enter and format dates. And please take a look at the top of page 395. It explains how dates are interpreted. Basically, you can separate month and day with a slash or with a hyphen when you're doing numbers, and either way it works correctly. It does not try to do division if you put a slash in. It does not try to do subtraction if you put a hyphen in, provided that you don't start with an equal sign. You don't put an equal sign in front of a date. Okay, now we want to look at the online sales sheet. We're going to go to A16 right here, and it displays 6.3, but if you look up here on the formula bar, it actually is 6.3 of the current year. Oh, I'm sorry, not the current year, 2016, next year. So with this selected, go to the Home tab, and in the number group, which is where you format your numbers, click the number format arrow, which is this arrow right here, and go to more number formats. And we got 6 tabs here, and most of the time this is the one that you're going to use. And under type here, so it's a date that we're displaying, that's what you select on the left. Under type over here on the right, you can pick a number of different formats. And I want to actually see the the year as well. So, you know, these numbers here never change. They have nothing to do with the numbers you see here. It's just showing you the format. So choose that, click on OK, and it should say 6/3/16 down there now. And at the bottom of the dialog box, click OK, which we've done. Click cell A19, which is down here, and type in 6-7-16 and hit enter. And that will give us the date June 7th, 2016. Now let's go to the top of page 396. Click cell A19 again. Hold down Control and press the semicolon key and press enter. And what that will do is it will enter the current date. I'm doing this on June 17th, 2015. So that's a quick way to put in the current date, if you can remember it. Now I want to go back up here and type in 6/7/16 and press enter, and it displays as 2016. Go to cell A16, which is the other date, and go to the Format Painter and click on it, and then click on this, and now they're both displayed the same way. I'm not a big fan of displaying the date as a 2-digit number. I'd prefer to see all 4 digits, but apparently the author thinks differently. Okay, now we're on activity 2.23 on page 396. In the online sales worksheet, click on, so online sales, click on A1, and I want to clear the contents. So over here, we've got a clear button, and if I choose clear contents, the word goes away, but the formatting is still there. And now I want to click on A2 and press delete, and now I got rid of that one as well. And now I want to go to A1 and type online sales so it's all in one cell. And usually that's what you want. You don't want to split up a label into 2 different cells. It will probably make your life more difficult if you do. Now I want to stay on this cell, and in the editing group I want to clear format. So go to clear and choose formats, and it will clear the format for me. And then we'll go down here and do the same thing, clear formats, and there you go. Now I want to go to A16, which is right here. And I want to clear the format on this one. And what I get is a number 42,524. Well, where's that come from? Dates are stored as what are called serial numbers, and Excel counts the days. And according to Excel, day 1 was January 1st, 1900. So that was 42,524 days ago. This is the 42,524th day since January 1st, 1900. I want to undo that. You can also do a Control-Z. And so that just shows you how dates are actually represented inside of Excel. Let's go to page 397, Objective 9, using copy and paste by using the Paste Options Gallery. This is kind of handy. I want the online sales worksheet active, and I want to select the range A4 to A19. So A4 to A19 is right here. And I want to copy, so I'm going to right-click and choose Copy, although the easy way to do that is do a Control-C. And at the bottom of the workbook, click on the In-Store Sales tab and go to A4. And now let's go to Paste here. And if you click on the arrow, we get a bunch of paste options. Actually, I guess I did that differently from the way they do it in the book. If I right-click here and choose the paste options, I've got a bunch of choices here. And if you pause the mouse over each one, it pretty much tells you what it does. And I want the first button, which is just an ordinary paste, and it'll paste in the data exactly the same as it was on the previous screen. Let's go back to online sales here and click or press escape on the keyboard to get rid of that dancing line and save our workbook. Okay, now we're on page 398, activity 2.25, and we're going to group the worksheets so that we can edit them. And this is actually, formatting is probably a better term to use here. You can format multiple sheets all at the same time. You don't have to, so if I got 10 sheets here that all look basically the same, have the same type of data in them in the same rows and the same columns, I can format them all to look the same all at once instead of having to do it 10 times. So I want to go to online sales, which I'm on, do a control home to go to the top of the document. And I want to right click on this and select all sheets, and it'll select all. Now another way to do that is to click on the first one, actually let's right click here and let's do ungroup the sheets. And you can click on this one and you can shift click on the last one and it'll select everything in between, which is a typical way to do things in Windows. So I want both of them selected. Notice when you've got multiple sheets selected, the word group appears in square brackets up here at the top, and all of your tabs for the selected worksheets turn white. Now I'll select columns A through G, and I want to set the width to 85 pixels. So that's pretty much what it's on right now, just about. And we may have to change this because his pixel numbers don't seem to agree with mine. And actually, I'm just kind of eyeballing what's on the top of page 399. And I think I want to make that a little bit wider than it is. So we'll try going out to there. And I think it looks a little more like page 399. Number 4 on page 398. Click cell A2, type week of May 24th. And I hit enter, which means I have to click the up arrow, press the up arrow key to go back up. And I want to merge that and center it across all the way to column G. So select into a merge and center. And apply the heading 1 style. So let's go here and let's do heading 1, week of May 24th. Now I'm on number 5 on page 398. Click cell E4, column E, cell 4, and type in total row sales, and tab, and then type rows supply sales, and tab, and then total sales. Okay. Now I'm on number 6. Select the range A4 to G4. A4 to G4 right here. Those are going to be my column headings. And I want those to be heading 3 style. And I want them centered and middle aligned. And I also want to wrap text so that all of the text appears in the cell instead of getting chopped off. And it says save our workbook, so we'll save it. And now display, click on in-store sales, and the grouping went away. But look at that. They both look the same. The text I typed in row 2 here got typed in on both of them. The text I typed in on these 3 cells here got typed in on both of them. The formatting I did applied to both of them. The column widths are the same on both of them. And so it saves a lot of work, especially, with 2 of them, it's not a big deal. But what if you had like one, January for one sheet and February for another one? You had 12 rows or 12 sheets down there at the bottom and you want to format them all the same. You can do it once instead of 12 times. Okay, now we're on page 399 and display online sales. So click on that and verify that they're not grouped. They're not, because this would be white and the word group would be up here. Click cell A1. And we're going to type rows, plants, and rows, supplies, weekly online sales. and I hit enter and then the up arrow again to stay in that cell. And now I want to type in the data on page 399 in column F, starting with F5. And it's going to be, I'm going to pause the video here, and you can pause it too and type in those numbers. Okay, I got them typed in, and now we can turn to page 400. And we're on number 4 at the top. Go to the in-store sales, and we're going to go up here to the top, and we're going to do rose plants and we're going to stay up there, and we're going to merge and center. Did I miss that on the previous one? And apply the title style. I did. So actually I can do them both at the same time now. I had to type the data in separately because it's different stuff on sheet 1 and from sheet 2, but now I can select both, got them grouped, and I can merge and center both, and I can go here and I can do my title. And now if I click off and look at that, I formatted both of them at the same time. So now on this sheet, in the rows supply sales, I want to enter the numbers that are in the middle of page 400, and I'll pause again, and you can pause. And now I've got the numbers in column F on the in-store sales, and we want to save it again. And right-click on the online sales right here, and do select all sheets again. And now we're on number 7 on page 400. Click cell E5 right here. And what I want to do is I want to sum these numbers here. So let's go to our auto sum button and click on it. And it does a sum function. The range is B5 to D5. Verify that the dancing line is correct and hit enter. And then take that formula and just drag it all the way down. And if you want to double check, which is a good idea, it is, whoops, it is adding up the right numbers on each row. So now we're on number 10 on page 401, and that tells us to go to cell G5, which is right here, and the total sales is going to be E plus F. So let's do an equals, click on the first number, type in a plus sign, click on the second number, and that's our formula. So it's adding these two numbers up. And now I think we're going to copy this down probably. Yes, get the fill handle and copy that all the way down to here. And now we're on page 401, activity 2.27 in the middle of the page. And save the workbook. Let's do that. And with the two worksheets still grouped in cell A12, type total, and then select the range. So in cell, they're both still grouped. They were grouped up there. Go to cell A12 and type the word total. And now I want to select the range B5 to G12. B5 to G12 here. Notice I'm including the bottom row. And it says do alt equals. Now I don't know if you'll remember that shortcut. Let me see. I didn't press alt. I think I missed it. Do alt equals, and it'll do the sums for us. Now, there's another easy way to do it. You don't have to remember that shortcut. So I'm going to select these and delete them, and just select everything where you want the totals to be, and click on auto sum, and it'll do it. I think that way is actually easier to do. Now we're on page 401 at the bottom, formatting grouped worksheets. And with two worksheets still grouped, select the range A5 to A12. which is this stuff right here. And we're going to do heading 4 style. And we're going to do financial formatting for the rest of it. And as usual on row 5 and the last row here, hold the control key down while you drag over the last row. We're going to do the accounting number format, which is a $sign in 2 decimal places. And now we're going to select the numbers in the middle from B6 down here to G11. And we do the comma style, and that makes my decimal points line up underneath one another. Do a control home, go back to the top of the worksheet, and now we're going to do activity 2.29 on 402. Click the in-store sales sheet tab, and now they're not grouped anymore. And it says to save, so we'll save. And now we're on page 40, bottom page 402, and we're going to insert a summary sheet. So let's click on the plus sign here and double click on it and call it summary. I got too many M's in there. And set its tab color to gold. So go to tab, right click, do tab color, and that must be gold accent 4. It's orange. How about that one? That one's gold. Looks yellow to me. And now we want to widen columns A through E to 110 pixels, A through E. And I'm going to actually make them bigger because his pixels and my pixels don't seem to agree. And now I want to leave in A1, I want to type sales of rose plants. And then I want to merge and center across columns A through E. And I want to apply the title style again. Okay. Then in A2, I want to do week of May 24th. I think I've already got that here. So I'm just going to copy, right click on this and copy, and then flip over here. And I'm going to do a paste here. And I've got some choices here. This paste will leave the original formatting, so I don't have to do any formatting with it. And now I want to leave row 3 blank. In B4 and C4 and D4 and E4, I've got some typing to do, so I'm going to pause the video. Actually, this video's gotten really long. It's about 23 minutes, so I'm going to quit this video and we'll finish with the second video.